Menace. Have you ever been driving late at night and seen something on the side of the road that just felt wrong? An animal that moved a little too fast. A shadow that seemed to disappear the moment you looked at it. For most of us, it's a fleeting, scary thought. But for some, it's the start of an encounter with something ancient and terrifying. Tonight, we are looking into the horrifying Navajo legend of the Skinwalker and asking the question, could they actually be real? Old warnings say that to speak their name is to be heard by them. We're doing it anyway. We're going deep into the heart of America's most disturbing legends. A story of forbidden magic, shape-shifting, and a darkness that blurs the line between myth and reality. In the vast, windswept landscapes of the American Southwest, the Navajo, or Diné people, have a core principle, Hojo. It's a beautiful and complex idea of living in balance, harmony, and a beauty with the world. But where there's light, there's always a shadow. And in the darkest shadows of Navajo tradition, there lurks something so profane, so opposite to the idea of harmony, that many refuse to speak its name. They are the Yee Naaldlooshii, which translates to, with it, he goes on all fours. We know them by a more common name, a more chilling name, Skinwalkers. This isn't some monster from a modern horror movie. The Skinwalker is a figure of profound fear, woven into the fabric of Navajo life and culture. To many Diné, this isn't just a folklore. The tradition is taken so seriously that the taboo against discussing them is powerful. It's born from a deep-seated belief that to even speak of the Skinwalker is to attract its attention, to invite its evil into your life. They are often blamed for terrible misfortune, unexplained sickness, sudden crop failures, dead livestock, and deep personal tragedies. They are the ultimate perversion, a twisting of everything the Navajo holds sacred. But what exactly is this thing that inspires such terror? The answer is much more disturbing than a simple monster. A skinwalker isn't something you are born as. It's something you choose to become. The path to becoming a skinwalker is an act of pure sacrilege. According to tradition, these beings were once medicine men, healers who held a deep knowledge of natural and spiritual worlds. But where a healer uses that power to restore balance, a would-be skinwalker chooses to corrupt it for personal gain. To complete this horrific transformation, they must commit the ultimate taboo, the murder of a close family member, often a sibling. This one act of profound evil is said to be the key that unlocks their supernatural power, severing their ties to humanity and birthing a monster. Once that price is paid, the Skinwalker gets a whole arsenal of terrifying abilities. Their most famous power is, of course, shapeshifting. By wearing the hide of an animal, most often a coyote, wolf, or fox, or bear, they can take its form. But witnesses say these aren't perfect transformations. They describe seeing creatures that are horribly wrong. Animals with hauntingly human eyes, or hunched humanoid figures moving with an unnatural jerky speed. And their powers go way beyond mimicry. A skinwalker is said to be able to run faster than a car, leap over cliffs, and vanish without a trace. They can reportedly control creatures of the night, using them as spies. They are masters of psychological warfare, able to mimic the voice of a loved one to lure you into danger. And maybe the most terrifying power of all, they can lock eyes with you and invade your mind, controlling your thoughts and actions. Their evil doesn't stop there. Legends speak of them gathering for profane rituals, desecrating graves, and practicing cannibalism. They are the embodiment of chaos, driven by greed, envy, and a hunger for the life force of their victims. For centuries, these stories were whispered, warnings passed down through generations. But then, the legend violently collided with the modern world. And this is the moment where people stop calling it folklore. All centered on one isolated 512-acre property, a place that would become infamous. Our investigation now takes us to a lonely patch of land in Utah's Uintah Basin. The area has long been considered cursed in local lore. One legend says the Navajo, in a historic conflict with the Uintah tribe, cursed the land by unleashing skinwalkers upon their enemies. This is Skinwalker Ranch. The story exploded onto the international scene in 1994 when the Sherman family bought the property, hoping for a quiet life of raising cattle. What they found was a 2-year-long nightmare. Their ordeal sounds like something out of a horror film. They reported seeing strange UFOs, from small glowing orbs to silent football field-sized crafts. They found bizarre geometric patterns pressed into their fields. Their cattle were found gruesomely mutilated, with organs removed with surgical precision, and not a drop of blood at the scene. The family's most famous encounter happened one night when Terry Sherman saw a massive wolf-like creature near the cattle pen. It was far larger than any normal wolf, with intelligent, piercing eyes. Sherman shot the beast 3 times at close range with a rifle. The animal barely flinched. It just stared back before calmly trotting away. And if that sounds familiar to you, don't click away. It only gets worse. When Sherman followed its tracks, they just stopped, as if the creature had vanished into thin air. Another time, the family's dogs chased a glowing blue orb into a thicket. There were yelps of pain, and all that was found was a patch of scorched earth and 3 lumps of what looked like melted flesh. After nearly 100 unexplainable incidents, the family broke. They sold the ranch in 1996 and got out. The buyer was Robert Bigelow, a Las Vegas real estate mogul fascinated by UFOs. He founded the National Institute for Discovery Science, or NIDS, and brought a team of scientists to the ranch to try and capture proof. They didn't capture clear photos, but their experiences were just as chilling. NIDS biochemist Dr. Colm Keller reported seeing a large humanoid figure with piercing yellow eyes watching his team from a tree. When he fired his rifle, it vanished, leaving a single, massive, 6-inch long track in the snow. The team documented invisible forces that fried their equipment, and even saw wires eject themselves from sealed electronics. The events at the ranch became so compelling that they even attracted the U.S. government. A Defense Intelligence Agency official, James Lakatsky, visited the ranch and had his own worldview-shattering encounter with what he described as a real physical entity. That experience directly prompted Senator Harry Reid to help secure $22 million in Pentagon funding for a secret program to study the unidentified aerial phenomena, with a heavy focus on the ranch. It seemed the government was finally taking the legend very seriously. In 2016, the ranch was sold again, this time to Utah real estate tycoon Brandon Fugal, who has escalated the investigation to a whole new level on the TV series, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Fugal's team has deployed military-grade technology across the property. What they've reported finding only deepens the mystery. Their data suggests a strange, anomalous radio signal that appears around 1.6 gigahertz, often in tandem with other strange events. In some of the show's most stunning moments, they've claimed that when they broadcast the signal, something intelligent on the ranch appears to clone it and broadcast it back. And just recently, during drilling operations into the ranch's mesa, the team reported recovering engineered ceramic fragments. On the show, these fragments demonstrated bizarre properties, appearing to be magnetic and even self-healing under a microscope, feats unknown in the natural materials, though these claims have not been independently verified. So, we have to ask the big question. We have centuries of consistent folklore. We have the terrifying testimony of the Sherman family. We have a multi-million-dollar scientific investigation that was, at one point, backed by the Pentagon. But could all this be something else? The evidence for skinwalkers is anecdotal, but it's disturbingly consistent. People from all over report seeing pale, hunched humanoid figures with glowing eyes and claw-like hands. One of the most common encounters involves a creature pacing a car on a dark road at impossible speeds, its face peering in the window before it vanishes. Campers tell stories of hearing their names whispered from the darkness, followed by a sudden, dead silence from all of the surrounding wildlife. These aren't just stories told around a fire. For the people who experience them, They are deeply personal and traumatic events. Then there's the hitchhiker effect, reported by many visitors to Skinwalker Ranch, which adds another layer of weirdness. People, including government officials, have reported that paranormal activity followed them home. One investigator's family began seeing shadowy figures and a wolf-like creature thousands of miles away, leaving physical claw marks in trees. This suggests something more than a localized phenomenon. It hints at an intelligent, parasitic force that can attach itself to people. However, skepticism is not only warranted, it's necessary. To date, there is no single piece of peer-reviewed scientific evidence that proves the existence of a shape-shifting witch. Many eyewitness accounts could simply be misidentification. At night, under stress, a bear, a coyote, or even another person could easily be mistaken for something more sinister. Psychological phenomena, like the power of suggestion, could also be a major factor. If you were raised believing that there's a monster in the dark, you're far more likely to interpret a strange sound or a shadow as that monster. As for Skinwalker Ranch, skeptics point out that after decades of investigation and millions of dollars, the data is still inconclusive. The TV show, while entertaining, is edited for maximum drama. All the equipment failures and the strange energy readings could have a geological explanation. The Uintah basin is known for its mineralogy and seismic activity, which can create unusual magnetic and electrical fields that might even be capable of inducing vivid hallucinations. And yet, the skepticism falters when confronted with the sheer volume of testimony. It falters when a former Pentagon official states on the record that he had encountered a real entity. The lines get blurry. We're left in a strange place, forced to hold two contradictory ideas at once: the rational belief that monsters aren't real, and the unsettling evidence that something is definitely happening. It feels like a form of psychological manipulation, where the phenomenon itself seems designed to make you question your own sanity, leaving you stranded between what you know possible and what you think you just saw. So what do you think? Is the Skinwalker a powerful cultural legend fueled by misidentification and fear? Or is there a dark, intelligent, and very real force that's been hiding in plain sight for centuries? Let us know your theories. And if you've ever had an experience you just can't explain, tell us in the comments below. If you're ready to question a little more of the unknown, make sure that you like this video and subscribe for more. In the end, we're left without a clear answer, staring into a void of terrifying possibilities. The legend of the Skinwalker forces us to confront the limits of our own understanding. It gives us a monster that isn't just a creature, but a corruption of humanity itself, a healer turned predator. And the data from Skinwalker Ranch, instead of giving us clarity, just pulls us deeper into the mystery, presenting anomalies that seem to defy modern science. It's a perfect storm of terror. The ancient folklore feels validated by modern science, and the science is made to be even more terrifying by the dark legend behind it. The story preys on our most primal fears, the dark, the unknown, and the familiar twisted into something monstrous. A voice that sounds like someone you love, an animal that moves like a person, a shadow at the edge of the woods that seems to be watching. The true power of the Skinwalker may not be whether it's physically real, but its ability to get inside our heads and make us doubt reality itself. Thank you for staying with us tonight. Some stories don't end when the video does. It leaves us with one final chilling question. If a person can become a monster through a single dark choice, what really separates us from them? Because if becoming a monster only takes one choice, maybe the most terrifying thing about skinwalkers isn't what they are, but what they used to be.